Indian Express, 14th of March 2024, it is our mutual interest not to amass troops along the LAC, Jaishankar told China. Since nearly 4 years ago, an estimated 50,000 to 60,000 troops have been stationed on either side of the India-China border in eastern Ladakh. External Affairs Minister S Jaishankar described the situation as extremely tense and dangerous, adding that it is in both countries' best interest to keep that few forces away from the line of actual control, LAC. On Monday evening in New Delhi, Jaishankar spoke with Mohan, contributing editor of the Indian Express, and Anant Goenka, executive director of the Indian Express Group, at the Express Adda. In response to a query posed by Zhou Yongsheng, a political counsellor at the Chinese embassy in New Delhi, regarding the potential for China and India, being significant neighbors, to establish common interests and foster partnership rather than rivalry, Jaishankar stated, "I contend that maintaining a limited number of forces along the line of actual control, LAC, and adhering to existing agreements are both in our mutual interest. Presently, I'm convinced that it is not only in our mutual interest but also in the best interest of China. Both parties have not benefited from the tension. It is in our mutual interest to resolve the matter as soon as possible. And I remain steadfast in my determination to achieve a just and rational resolution. However, one that acknowledges the LAC, respects agreements, and does not seek to alter the status quo," he continued. When queried whether a more significant parliamentary majority would grant the current administration greater authority to address the matter, Jaishankar responded, "In my opinion, the number of seats is inconsequential in determining the fairness of a boundary solution and the territory of India. It is either an excellent deal or a poor one. Whether or not one possesses a political majority is not the issue. The salient concern is whether a just agreement is being presented." Regarding a number of these matters, the minister stated that he has maintained communication with his Chinese counterpart, Wang Yi, whom he has known for decades. "Since then, we have maintained consistent communication. He was the individual with whom I spoke even the morning following the Goenka incident," he continued, adding that the current situation at the LAC was extremely perilous and tense. Ambassador Philip Ackerman of Germany, High Commissioner Philip Green of Australia, Ina Krishnamurti of Indonesia, Shankar Prasad Sharma of Nepal, Major General Vetsop Nongil of Bhutan, and ambassadors and diplomats from Mongolia, Slovenia, Estonia, Chile, Spain, Italy, and the Philippines, among others, attended the Express Adda. Throughout the nearly 2-hour-long discussion, Jaishankar addressed various additional foreign policy matters, including the future of India's relations with Pakistan. Concerning Pakistan, he emphasized the importance of addressing the issue of terrorism. "Our doors have always remained open to dialogue with Pakistan. However, the problem is, about what are you speaking? Should they have so many terrorist training camps staffed by individuals whose solitary purpose is to complicate your life, then that ought to be the subject of the discussion." He stated, "I will not avoid the subject of terrorism to continue the conversation. Governments converse with governments, and the Pakistani military is also a branch of the Pakistani government," he stated, indicating that India had no objection to communicating with the Pakistani military. As the conversation turned to the forthcoming Lok Sabha elections, Jaishankar stated, "No one wishes for a coalition government in this country ever again because India has experienced both majority and coalition governments." Regarding the significance of debates in a democratic system, he stated, "Debate is necessary, it is present in this country. Without debates, it would not be the nation it is today. That being said, I have no objection to that. My concern is that raising doubts about something is advancing a political agenda." The minister also showed that he maintains many relationships and even exchanges WhatsApp forwards with foreign ministers, who are his counterparts. "I exchange WhatsApp quips and forwards, but it's a mixed assortment. Today, the very nature of diplomacy is evolving as more individuals communicate with one another directly, bypassing the need for burdensome protocols. As with any profession, it is something in which you spend time and energy with your colleagues and make friends with them." Jaishankar, who transitioned from a diplomatic career to politics, has represented India's diplomacy in a rapidly changing world for the past 5 years. With his 2 books, The India Way and Why Bharat Matters, he has attempted to construct the intellectual foundations of India's position on the international stage as one of the most eloquent critics of the Modi administration's foreign policy.